shutting down government over a policy difference is self-defeating. It accomplishes nothing but pain and suffering for the country and the American people. That's a lesson we all must bear in mind. The shutdown is not a political game. Shutdown means real pain for American families.
Yeah, so why is Chuck Schumer using the government shutdown now as some type of revenge play? Americans are struggling. Roughly 750,000 federal employees, that's a lot of employees, are not working. Even our military members' paychecks are threatened. But Schumer, willing to let Americans suffer, believing it's all worth it as long as he sticks it to the Republicans and makes AOC happy. So a lot of bravado. Schumer told Punchbowl News that every day gets better for us. And he reiterated the same sentiment on the Senate floor this morning.
Our case to fix health care and end the shutdown gets better and better, stronger and stronger, because families are opening their letters, showing how high their premiums will climb.
But it gets better for the Democrats. Here to discuss, Matt Towery, pollster and political analyst. Also with us, Lisa Boothe, Fox News contributor. All right, Matt. This is, interesting. There are different polls that show different iterations of where people are on the shutdown. But his comment there that it's good for the Democrats. What do you make of that?
Oh, I don't think it's good, but I have a great idea, Laura. I sat all afternoon and went through some statistics I want to share with you. 93% of Trump's win came from rural counties. 70% of the nation are rural counties. We've lost 300 rural hospitals. There are 38 Democrats in the House that represent primarily rural areas. North Carolina, 85% rural. Georgia, 120 of 159 counties are rural. You get where I'm going with this? There's a crisis in health care, but the biggest crisis is among the rural areas, the places that voted for Donald Trump. So I say to Schumer, how about this? How about we address that rural crisis right now? And then after everybody gets the government going again, we'll turn and deal with his area in New York and Los Angeles and all the other places he cares about. I think there's a way to get this thing done and take the health care issue and hang it right around their neck.
Well, Lisa, Obamacare really dropped a bomb on the health care for so many Americans. So they're dangling the prospect, this is going to go on forever. But of course, eventually you have to pay the piper. Plus, we got 30 million illegals using the emergency room as their primary health care. Hospitals under huge pressure because of bills underfunded, under-reimbursed. And the Democrats are blaming us. I thought Affordable Care Act was affordable.
Well, I think that's probably why they're fighting for these beefed up premiums as hard as they are, because otherwise it's an admission that Obamacare failed. It failed us. It failed the country. But I think more broadly, if you look at Republicans right now, look, you win political fights, you win government shutdowns when you have the easier argument to make. And Republicans can say, we've given you multiple opportunities to keep the government open at the same spending levels that you previously supported just a few months ago. Why can't you do it again? You did it 13 times during the previous administration. But, right now, I think this fight is still a beltway battle, but it's going to continue to spill out, particularly when you look at impacts to air travel. And if you remember going back to the 2019 shutdown, that 35-day shutdown, there were ground stops on January 25th, 2019 at LaGuardia that then had this cascading effect on the rest of the country. You had something like 3,000 flights delayed, 650 flights canceled. And then what happened that same day? President Trump and Congress got together and hammered out a 3-week, short-term deal to get the government reopened. So, I think until we start seeing a little bit more of that, there might not be room for negotiation, unfortunately.
Yeah, but paychecks aren't coming now, Matt, right? People aren't going to get paid. When people don't get paid, they can't make their bills, and then they can't get health care that they need because they can't afford the premiums.
Well, you remember, Laura, when our friend Newt Gingrich shut the government down back in the 1994 and 95, he was called the Grinch who stole Christmas, right? It was all his fault. Now it's the vote that is needed by the Democrats that we're not getting. So I think political pressure, increased political pressure, and perhaps a little advertising in some key districts, and maybe a little creative approach to this health care they're so concerned about, and we'll get this country back on its feet and moving again.
Have you seen many commercials on this, Matt? I've seen almost none in the D.C. area.
No, and
that's
there
shocking,
need to be commercials.
Is it not?
Yeah. I think the Republicans ought to be running commercials right now saying, why is your representative, why is your senator not voting to open the government and get people back to work. I'm always shocked
Chuck Schumer just
when that
wrote,
doesn't happen.
Chuck Schumer just wrote the ad for them, too, by saying every day it gets better for them that the government's shut down.
Right.
To Matt's point, like if you're gonna write the ad, he just wrote it for you, you know?
Yeah,
and also, Laura, think about how small Democrats look right now. President Trump is working on negotiating peace in the Middle East, while they pick, these silly battles, or you have Hakeem Jeffries in this fight with Mike Lawler, just looking silly in that interaction.
Yeah,
they just look so small and petty right now, comparatively speaking.
Trump's taking on the big challenges, but this government's got to open up. It's got to happen. Matt and Lisa, thank you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.